Hi everyone, welcome back to Not Creda. I hope that you all are doing great. I am doing okay. So we are here and we're going to be making some baubles for some upcoming mentally planned projects. I already have these complete. These are in the works and this is our canvas. So let's get started. I hope that you're doing great. It's hump day and it's hot, right? So apparently we're supposed to have a cold front, which I am ready for. I am so ready for it to be cooler. Do I need ice for it to be cold or snow? No, but I would like for the temperature to drop at least to 65. Um, I'm selfish. I want it to be cold, right? I like colder versus hot because you can always put on more clothes. You can do things to get warmer. You cannot, once you take off all your clothes, you just have skin. So you can't peel the skin off and get cooler, right? That's my philosophy. I like that philosophy. So I do like cooler weather versus heat. And probably growing up in Texas has something to do with that when I was a little one. Little girly girl, I would say that the cold weather definitely will make you think about moving to a cooler place. I would say my most favorite place I've ever lived in was Connecticut. Not because it was exciting and there was so much to do and blah, 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 but because of the weather. Like it was cool. It had all the seasons. Every season I experienced it. It snowed, it was hot, it was breezy during the fall seasons, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. I do not have, leaving there, I don't have a great memory because that's where my mom left us. So that, it always have a special place for two reasons in my mind, in my mental bank. I don't like that. What do y'all think? You probably like it. I don't like this purple one. It's too big. Let's try this one. I keep grabbing that double bead. No, I still don't like it. What's wrong with her? Oh no. That looks better. That definitely looked better. Okay, let's see. I think we're almost done with the beads for today. I had a video already made for today for Creda, but I didn't like it because I was working like right here where my hand is, and all you could see was the beads. So that's why I'm trying to keep my hands out in the open. So I have to make another one of the things that I made, I guess. Or maybe not. Maybe that was a sign that I didn't need to double dip in that. So we'll see. Do you try to get rid of all of your beads from a project that you're working on, or do you have excess beads left over? Usually I prefer to have a large quantity, I wouldn't say a large amount, but a large quantity of working bead project things on my project. And then sometimes what will happen is I'll think, oh, that combination will look good as an earring. And then I'll just make an earring really quick. And I'm like, oh, that will look good as a little bracelet. So I don't like to use all of my things up in one particular project. I do like watching people that I would say have smashed their bead stash for particular projects. I do find that to be very soothing. But even people that like buy bargain bead or the kits, I think they tend to have leftover stuff and they just use it. Because if you have 1,000 beads, let's just be honest, right? You have 1,000 beads, you're not going to create 1,000 bead work project in one sitting. You may have to put it to the side and come back. Like, um, I just feel like that just makes more sense. You wouldn't, oh, I don't like that. You wouldn't sit here and try to complete this whole bead, get all these beads used in one sitting. You may use them all on the project, but not in one sitting. So I feel like, when people do those bargain bead kits or whatever, they're not like, oh, I'm going to use all of this on one project. I don't like that either. They're like, okay, yeah, I can use this for this. I feel like, people just look at it and they see more than one project as well. They don't think, oh, this is good for just that one thing. Whereas some things are only dedicated to one thing. Like if you're paper crafting, you may say, okay, I got these 5 12 by 12 sheets of paper out to do my layout for the graduation. Or I got this out for this. Or I got that out. Now this is cute. I got that out for, just something small. And I think I would think that you would usually only use smaller quantities for smaller projects. I don't think you would pull out 1,000 sheets for 2 pages. But, that's my thinking. The process of everyone else is not my thinking. I do need some beads though. Like I always feel like I need more beads. Because when I'm crafting, I'm like, oh, I don't have that color. But I don't really need any more beads. I like what I have. And I've been in the garage. I think I've said that on a few videos now. I've been in the garage. I'm like, yes, we're going in this box next. We're getting in this box. And we're going to see what that box has to offer us. I think it's fun discovering some of the things that you may not remember you had. And if I was really, really organized, I would have my boxes labeled more appropriately. Like box L2 has dies in it. Box L3 has this. Box HQ has, that. But I don't. I don't. And that's okay. Hindsight is always 20/20 on how you could do things a little bit better. And you just adjust to that as this is cute. As you need to adjust to it. I need to put I do want to use these last little 4 pieces of like Goldilocks in here. What's one of your favorite childhood stories? Is like a Mother Goose story, like Old Mother Hubbard, the old lady in the shoe, the fox. Like what's your favorite? I would think that one of my favorite, or it doesn't have to be like Mother Goose. It could be like a child, just a childhood story, but you learn that, most kids probably will experience at some point in their childhood. I like the gingerbread man. It's not my favorite one, but I do like the gingerbread man. Because I feel like, when you think about it, foxes, I don't like this setup. Foxes are very sly and cunning, right? So I read that story to my little guy and he liked it. He liked the story, but I don't think he really understood it. So, we'll revisit it a few times. Whenever I read him a story, I can tell if he likes it because he'll be like, Mommy, you'll read this book to me. And I'm like, I just read this book to you yesterday. I know, read it again. And I know kids like repetition because that's how they learn things. And that's how adults learn too. That's why they say you should say something 3 times to help you kind of embed it in your memory. That stuff don't work for me. I need to say it like 1,000 times. But I would say like of all of my favorite stories from childhood, I think the 3 Little Pigs would be one of them. I have a few, of course, right? Can't just have one. Can't be normal with just one. You gotta have multiple. 3 Little Pigs is one. What else? 3 Little Pigs. I don't know if I like Goldilocks. I mean, she trespassing. That's the spin that we've put on that story now, right? A little girl trespassing and the bears eat her, try to eat her up. I wonder what those stories really meant during that time frame. So I think we're good. We have a lot over here, do we not? I mean, goodness. I want to show y'all something. Now, before I show you this, I want you to know that this is not needed, what I'm about to share with you. It is not needed. But if you have an extra $40 in your wallet, this too can be yours. But use a coupon. I'm not sure if Joann still had that coupon right now, Joann Fabric, but they had a coupon for 50% off, and that's how I got mine. I do not know. I mean, I guess I know why it's so expensive. I think it's a proprietorship. This came apart. For this particular item, so I guess it's the sole patent. So normally, I would tell you, okay, now that we have our little bobbles done, we're going to go ahead and make all of them a 90-degree angle. But no, not today. We're going to use this one looper. I pay for this with my own money. No one's asked me to review it or anything like that. But I'll tell you that I like this thing. And the jewelry spot, she showed this in her project a couple of months ago on one of her jewelry making and fun videos. And I was like, I have one of those, but the one I have, I bought the larger loop. I think it's 3.0, and it's too big. So I went out and I just researched it a little bit more, and I did some humming and hoeing over it, like ho hum, and talking to the big roommate for about 2-3 months. Saying, I really want to get that. I don't know, blah, 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 blah. So Joann had a coupon for 50% off, and I jumped on the deal to get that. So now we're just going to go ahead, and I'm going to show you how this works. Now, I was trying to make my own eye pins, right? And so the directions on this packaging says to make an eye pin, you do this, okay? You do all this to make not this portion, this thing right here, to get you a nice eye pin. I still don't know how it works. And I feel like when I got this, the directions are kind of not great, right? So see how it tells you to go ahead and put this in here and do that, and then you're gonna put that in. And I struggled with that. I'll try it again. I will try it again. But for now, I'm gonna show you this amazing thing. And maybe I'll try that looping thing. So I'm going to push this all the way to here. I'm just going to bend this a little bit. And look at that. You saw that? Did you see that? And so now what I've been doing with my pliers is I've just been kind of coming in and curving it. Even though I don't need it, I just feel like I want to do that. Look at that. Yep. And now we have this piece, and I'll work on this piece to see if I can figure out how to make the eye pin, because now you have all this extra stuff, and you don't have any waste if you do it, if you do it properly. But goodness, this is amazing. And I forgot all about it because I struggled with it the first time, and I felt like I was a big bonehead because I had used my money and it didn't work out. But you see how quick that was? Normally I'd be complaining, oh, I can't get these straight, blah, blah, blah. But look, yay. All right, so I just did it off camera just to make sure so you didn't hear a lot of foul language coming out of my mouth. And look at what I just did. Yay, I'm just going to use this to flatten it. Look at that. Oh, it's still a little bit scruffy. That's okay. It's poking up right there and I can feel it, so I can adjust that. Look at that. Now we have it. So what I did was I just paid attention to the instructions. Sometimes, it just takes me a while to get it. So I'll show you real quick. I'm excited. When I get too excited, you know what happens. Oh, I make mistakes. So that's why I think I try not to rush when I'm doing certain projects, because I still make mistakes. So let's see this thing over here. Yeah, that's good. And look at that. Now, you all know how I struggle so much with those eye pins, doing them by myself, handmade. But I won't be like, oh, this is my crutch now. I don't have to worry about it, because I still feel like I need to make, I still feel like I need to make them. Like this piece might not even fit in here. Right, we're gonna try it out because why not? And nope, it doesn't fit. So if you have a piece like that, you just do it the traditional way. You make a 90-degree corner. You clip off whatever excess you feel like you have. A little bit more. And then you just call back onto itself. Just like that. You have a loop. And I just pull this back and adjust it. Flatten it down some. And there you go. Just want this to be a little bit flatter. I do think I need to buy some more tools though. And I'll probably just get a little bit higher grade, higher quality tools in the next couple of months. I should have tried that on Prime Day, but I didn't. I was looking at the markers. I didn't buy any, but I was looking at them. I was looking at some brush tip markers, and the colors that they had were just like, I would never use those. And I was like, you don't need any markers. You got plenty of markers, blah, 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 blah. That whole guilting myself. What is wrong with me, right? So yeah. This thing is amazing though. And they have 3 sizes. They have 1.5. I think I've only seen the 3 sizes. 1.5, 2.5, and 3.0. And you can get all of them, of course, right? Because you may want to make larger loops, smaller loops. And now we just have this excess, and I figured out how to do it. So yay. I'm not going to be able to do it for you, I don't think. I don't think I'll be able to do it for you properly because I'm a lefty. Oh, maybe not. Okay. And right here, you just pull this back. And there you go. It's almost perfect. More like a shepherd's staff now, but you know what? It works. Oh, no. Anyway, I feel like this is definitely a good game changer for, for me. Now that I remembered that I wanted to get a smaller size. And I just invested that money into it because I feel like sometimes you have to invest in your happiness more so than not invested in your happiness. But not at $40. Like, they're $39.99. Make sure you use a coupon. Or if you work at Joann, I'm not sure if you can use a stacking coupon because, Joann will let you stack some coupons. Sometimes they won't. And it's not the employees, I think sometimes we get upset with the employees, but it's the store policy. You can't be mad at them for enforcing the store policy, can you? Well, I know we do sometimes. Because, I always say they act like that's their money. And it's not their money, but they do get paid from the company. So they're just kind of, I guess, trying to protect those, I don't know, the money that the store is supposed to be making. At the same time, I feel like if you're a frequent flyer, they'll hook you up a little bit. My son is not very forgettable. He talks a lot. So the Joann that is farthest from my house that I go to, she's like, hi, I haven't seen you in a long time, blah, 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 blah. He's like, yes, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh my goodness, really? This is what we doing today? Like, he'll carry on a conversation better than I can. And sometimes I can talk a lot versus not talking. But I kind of just let him, try to. I think the one thing that we forget is that we were kids. And I think right now, especially, the world is forcing children to not be kids. Like, I feel like the innocence of childhood is being stolen from them on so many different levels. And I don't know. I feel like that's not fair. I feel like I'm just going to flatten these down a little bit. I feel like as adults, we should not force feed them to believe anything besides something that's good and wholesome. And good and wholesome, I know, is not the same for everyone. I'm going to just throw these in the trash because I'm not going to try to make no eye pins. Okay. But I think we all have these horror stories. All of us have one weird story about childhood that we probably don't. And it doesn't have to be a bad story. It's just a weird story. Like, I remember when I was 6, my family and I went on our annual vacation, and I fell off the seat at the diner, and the floor was covered in blah 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 blah, and I got sticky. And because my suitcase was the closest to the back seat, we couldn't get it until we unpacked, and I had to ride in the car the whole way smelling like syrup or something, something silly like that. Or it could be something more traumatic. And I think those memories are fine, but I think when we try to force kids to grow up too fast or know things too fast as a society, it's not good. Not good at all. And I just worry, because I feel like sometimes I try to keep him from that so much that I worry if I'm keeping him unexposed to some things that maybe he should be exposed to. And then I'm just like, you know what? He'll have to deal with that later. Right now, I feel like this is the right thing to do as his parent, and I'm going to keep doing that, to keep him safe. Because I was talking to someone, it was like, oh yeah, you're going to have to do this. I was like, no. I'm not going to do any of, any of that. And they were like, well, I'm like, no, I don't think you understand me. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that. Even his dad and I don't always agree, which I think is great. We don't always agree on some of our child raising techniques, I guess you can say, which I think is good. We don't ever fuss over any of the things, but my son is definitely a snooper. And so if you leave some of your stuff out and he has interest in it, basically like your cell phone, he'll try to get it and mess with it. Because, I make YouTube videos. He likes to watch YouTube videos. He doesn't watch mommy, but he likes to watch train YouTube videos. And I don't want him watching YouTube videos unless I sanctioned it. Like if I say, oh yeah, you can watch this channel or whatever. And all the channels that I disapprove for the train videos, he likes. And I'll tell you why I don't want him watching those. Because you're probably like, oh, you make YouTube videos and you don't want your son watching it. So, for example, it's basically the toy playing videos. Some of those people, I don't know what's going on with this thing. Did I break it already? I hope not. Some of those people get paid money to review the toys, right? So when you don't have to purchase a toy, when your parents don't purchase toys for you, it's a different mindset of how you handle the toys, right? So if I were to go out and spend $60 on a toy, which I would never spend $60 on one toy, I would have to be like a whole collection of stuff. I learned my lesson the hard way. Let's just put it like that. And he watches little boy A and little boy B play with this $60 toy. Little boy A and B got it sent to them for free advertising from whatever game company, Mattel or whatever. And he sees them drop it off a high ledge. He's going to try the same thing. But when he drops it off of the high ledge, it breaks. I'm not going to go out and buy another one. Mm-mm. So I feel like sometimes, like kids are already rough on toys anyway. Um, I watched one video where they had soup, they had milk, something. They was driving the trains through the milk or something like that, and like some of the trolls were kidnapped with the PJ Masks. They had all their toys just kind of playing. They were playing, don't get me wrong, and there's nothing wrong with playing with your toys. It is something wrong with destroying your toys that cost $1 or more. If it costs 10 cents, 10 cents, no big deal. But some people can't even afford a 10-cent toy. And that's what I'm getting at. Not everyone can afford to destroy toys. And I'm one of those, not everyone can afford to destroy toys. So, I try to avoid that. And I think sometimes even as adult viewers of YouTube, there are people that are very self-destructive. And if you have the mentality that they have, then you can go down that self-destructive path as well. Because sometimes we lose sight of what we really should be doing as people, and I think people get on YouTube and do some crazy stuff because it is free speech, it is free, blah blah blah, but it's really not free. Freedom costs a lot, and I think sometimes people don't understand that. We get on here and we go on our soapboxes and we do a lot of ranting over things, but someone definitely lost their life for us to have the little bit of democracy and freedom that we do have right now, especially in these interwebs spaces. So I think, for me, I don't want him watching those, those channels, and I don't want to be a part of certain channels either. Like I can't deal with people that are like, oh, well, so and so, blah 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 blah. No, 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 no. I've even unsubscribed from channels that I were news channels, like reporting on celebrities. And I really don't track celebrities. Like, I love this thing. It's amazing. Those are not my things. Like celebrities are not the people that I track. Like if you have a YouTube channel, you craft or whatever, we can be friends. As long as you're not like, oh, well, I hate this party and I hate that party and these people suck, and I just can't deal with that. That's not where my head is right now. Maybe in a couple of years, I'll be on that anti-everything, pro this or whatever. I'm not there at all. So this is what we've been working with today. Can you believe that? I like it. I like it a lot. I love it. It's still not enough for what I'm working on. I need like, let's count on 1, 2. I think we have roughly about 30, which is really good, but I need more. More. So anyway, I want to say thank you all for watching. I hope that you had a great time chit-chatting with me. And until next time, don't ho-hum over stuff. Ho-hum, ho-hum. I feel like a dwarf. All right.